Beryl. Tell me about yourself. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a textile artist. I'm a graphic designer. I've got 35 years experience in the wedding industry. I do a lot of textile art within the wedding industry, but I also do wedding planning. Yes, so I get quite excited about what I do because I find weddings are fantastic. They're so much fun. Whereas a lot of people find the stress and all that related to it, whereas I like to create something, let my imagination go wild and get the budget and the dream to work together, which is what my wedding planning course is about.
Oh, wow. Getting the budget and the dream to work together, that must be really hard for anyone to try and get that to sort out. Is that right?
It is complicated. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's hard. I'm going to say it's complicated. But there are ways to get a dream to work. You don't necessarily have to have it the $50,000 worth of product and things like that. And then again, you can. It's your dream. So part of my wedding, part of the planning, the wedding planning, is I try to allow the couple to develop what they think is important to them. And so if they find what is important to them, they know not to spend money on these other things, but to spend things on the things that they care about. And that's really, really important with wedding planning. It's not about having gold tips on your shoes. But maybe it is, because you've always dreamed of having gold tips on your shoes. That's okay.
So it's all about getting the perfect wedding for the bride and groom. Is that right? Yeah.
That is correct. So getting their dream right. And that is what it's about. And when people come to me, they go, oh, I can't do this. Oh, and they're worried about these external factors. But when you bring it all down to what you really want, it's amazing. It's so exciting and it's exhilarating. Yes, I get quite excited about doing this. And it's actually so much fun to see that sparkle in the bride's eye going, oh my goodness, I get it. I get it. And I can have it. So that's where this wedding planning course that I've put together comes in. It allows you to get what is important to you.
So that's awesome. Tell me more about how you help brides and grooms and couples with this course.
The course is in numerous parts. Do you know the thing that we do first, when you first celebrate this course, when you first get this course, we make you celebrate your engagement. No offense, don't get onto the planning, because this is only one day of a special time of your life that you're going to take into the future. So celebrate your engagement party, whether it's a party or it's a dinner for two or it's a family dinner. Who cares? It's your party. So have fun at your engagement, and then we move on giving you PDFs and email. Well, we've got a series of emails that templates that we send out so that you can talk to vendors, you can talk to the cake person and the florist. And also we actually have a little quick terminology page. An example of this is buttonhole versus boutonniere versus flower thingy that you put on your lapel. Vendors will say it's $200 a head, but alcohol's not included. But how many courses does that include? And it's asking the questions. It's being able to ask with confidence the questions that you want for your dream. And that's what it's about. And we do that with all the vendors. So, and maybe along the way we've got to add a few more because you've got a different vendor. So we're going to develop this course always. It's always going to be something that's growing so that it covers the areas that you need covered. So that's a little bit. That's just a little bit.
Awesome. So you really break things down step by step so that the bride and groom, they don't have to worry about what they've got to do next, what's on the list, and
yes,
how to do it. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Tiff, I cut you off then. Yes, I got so excited when you were talking about that because my wedding planning is step-by-step wedding planning. So therefore, it enabling you to understand the next step because you don't have to follow it rigidly, but you've got to follow it generally in order so that you move through to get the most important things out of the way first. Like deciding on a day. What happens if you're deciding on this day, but everybody's coming from interstate or overseas? Well, you've got to make sure that it doesn't clash with other days. If you've got a very, very significant holiday like, Christmas, because that's everybody understands Christmas, you should not get married on Christmas if grandmama won't be there because it's not what she wants to do. So to her, that is really, really important because that is a sacred day for her. I'm not going to go into any of the religions and groups and stuff like that. They all have their certain days that they want to avoid because they're very important to them personally. So that's one thing you've got to consider when you choose a date. And another thing when you're choosing a date is, like, if they're traveling from a long distance away, does a plane turn up to you at the right time? What happens if there's all these sorts of things, but we go through all those processes of how to determine your date, and then we move on. But the one thing I probably am very kind of insistent on in the first place is don't make decisions straight away. You're engaged, slow down. Whatever you do, slow down. And do not choose your bridal party, the people you want in your wedding, until you are sure that's what you want. It doesn't matter if you choose them 5 months out, 4 months out. That's okay. But then again, this is also coming back to your dream. Everything is okay. Another thing we deal with is we run on a sideline of this, we actually have an exercise program, and part of this exercise program, it's not to lose weight, it's to feel happy within you. It's not about the exercise, it's about feeling comfortable with who you are. And part of that program is actually, I have this little trick I use for my brides. It's a little bit of an evil trick. I make them go to a river or a beach. In my case, I'm based in Melbourne. I live 15 minutes from the beach, so I send them to the beach and I make them go to the beach. They must sit on a chair. They can go and get themselves fish and chips or an ice cream or a fruit bowl, if that's what you want. I don't care. And then they go to the beach and then chips work best. Throw the chip into the seagulls and watch the seagulls fight. You are not allowed to talk about weddings for 15 minutes. You have to enjoy where you are with your future partner, with your forever partner. That is the person that no weddings, no nothing. And then as the seagulls run off going, you think of your problems flying away with them. And you just sit there. Many of my brides have come back to me, more my brides than the male side of it, because the brides will admit, and the males don't want to admit, they go, we sat there for 2 hours. For 2 hours, we talked about no weddings. And then when we got back to wedding planning, it was so much easier just to do this little bit of release, escapism. So, but that's a little bit... They're just a few tricks I have in my wedding planning course.
That's awesome. So, are the brides and grooms just working with you in this course, or how is it just them and you? Or
the way it is we normally have a group. So we have a private Facebook group. Within this Facebook group, I'm very, very adamant about no judgment, because people will judge somebody about, oh, your dress is not right and your arms aren't right and your head's not right and your toes on backwards and things like that. I get quite angry about negative comments. I'm a very positive person, so therefore the whole experience has to be very exciting and positive. It's not always going to be exciting, but you don't want it to be negative. You want to just have fun. And that's what it should be about. So there is a safe group where we will do conversations, and once a week for 5 weeks for the 6-week course, because it's only a 6-week course, we will have Facebook Lives where you'll drop me questions. I will answer these questions live for you. Of course we record it, because guess what? Not everybody can get to recordings. That's what part of this fact that we all work 24 hours a day. So I will record that so that you can play it back. There might be one little tiny bit. Oh, what did Beryl say here? Oh, Beryl was talking to, in this case I'm talking to Tiff, but Beryl was talking to Tiff, and Tiff had this little bit of information. That's all really, really important for you to be able to come back and look at it later. That's the safe part about this school, and it's a safe spot. Now, as I've just talked about Facebook group, what was the rest of the question, Tiff?
No, I think you've answered it actually. So it's just about it's going to be this whole community support, right?
Yes, definitely community, positivity, no judgment. Any judgments done will be deleted. I'm not having it. I do not have it face to face. Prime example of that is on my face-to-face consultations, say a mum and a daughter are disagreeing on what they want. If they raise their voices in any way, I excuse myself and go get a glass of water. I just don't allow. You're allowed to have your opinion, but you're not allowed to get yelly and vocal about it, because that's just demeaning the other person. So, and that's a little bit what the wedding planning course is about. It's about creating a unity with your new partner. And this is where I use also, this is another little trick I do, is I have my my mood boards. His mood board, her mood board, or the other person's mood board, and then we create the marriage mood board. And therefore you can figure out what you need together. What's important to you, what's important to me, turns into what's important to us. And that's what it's about.
Awesome. There's more than one way to work with you through this course, right? You've kind of got 3 levels.
Yes, Tiff, there are 3 levels to the course. The first level of the course, and I do apologise, I have not named them yet. I'm thinking of something really special about them. The first level of the course is more that you help yourself. You go through the course, you go through the modules, but you still get the community. You always get the community, because the community is still important, and you get the Facebook Lives where I answer questions for you, or if they're out of my league, maybe they're in the exercise, I'll get Carol or Laura to answer them, or one of my other people, so that you get answers to that. The second level is that, but it also includes a little bit more help. At least one one-on-one, where you get to talk to me for 20 minutes and you tell me one-on-one, separate to everybody else. This is not how do I put it? This is not live. Of course I'll record it because I want to know your answers, but so that I can help you through the problems that you personally have as a couple. And the third level is a lot more help. I give more one-on-ones. There's at least 5 more one-on-ones within the levels of the course. Maybe you need a one-on-one every week. I am quite prepared to offer you that for the whole 5 weeks of the course. And of course, throughout the whole course, from level 1 to level 3, I can tell you, there's always going to be bonuses, because I like giving away little hints. So that's just a little bit.
If someone is thinking to themselves, why should I spend the money on this, or why invest in this, what would you say to that person?
The investment is actually a life skill. I'm going to teach you how to plan. Guess what? My speciality is wedding planning, that might be good. But it's not just for wedding planning. It's for planning absolutely anything. You can still take these techniques to plan any special event. You can also, as you're learning to plan special events, you can take it into planning. Maybe you want to plan a holiday. You can take, there are learnt techniques that you will be able to use in multiple facets of your life so that you can use it. And it's not just one off. It's for the rest of your life. You can use this in some way, in some form, so that you can get something. Beryl taught me this back in 1905, but maybe it's not quite 1905 because I'm not that old, but that's okay, that's fine. But you can see where you can take the organisation skills on how to itemise everything, on putting things together. So you will be able to do that in anything, even choosing a school for your first child. That's what you'll be able to do. You'll be able to take the techniques and use them in other areas of your life.
Awesome. Okay.
I've collated a whole lot of information over the years that I've collected together where I just do things automatically. But within wedding planning, there's a little bit of disagreement. We're not going to say arguments, where everybody has their own point of view. I will show you techniques on how to teach people where I'm teaching you, but you're going to teach people that are in your environment on your dream. And that's what it's about. It's about getting your dream and be able to put it together properly. If you like purple and Mum likes pink and George likes, and yes, I've made up names, George likes gold with, I don't know, skulls in it. I was trying to think of something very vague. There is a way, you've got to have a way of being able to bring everybody onto the same page, because it's two people's weddings and that's the benefit. It's not 55 people's wedding, and it's what you and your partner's dream is. So I help you to be able to talk to vendors, understand contracts, making sure that you read the contract before you sign it. Sorry, I'm very adamant on that one. So many people go, and then they find out, no. So you have to read the contract. And also within the Facebook group, if there's a word in that contract that you don't understand, we can actually answer that question for you. At this moment in time, I can't think of a word, so I do apologise. But understanding what they are saying to you, what is included, what is not included. The stress levels, reducing the stress levels, go and throw chips in the middle of the seagulls. Talking to your partner, talking to your mum, talking to your family, getting everybody on the same page so that your dream becomes reality, and it is amazing and you have so much fun designing it, because suddenly you don't have the stress that you may have had, because yelling and screaming doesn't work. I don't yell and scream. I just get on with it. And organisation is probably a huge thing. If you're organised, you feel comfortable.
If you have one tip for your brides for today, it's just if they take one thing away from this video today, what would that one tip be?
Take time out. I know I keep nagging on this, but so many people get so wound up in the wedding planning, they forget to take time out. And I have all these little techniques about, even if it's just walking around, like another thing, especially when my brides are a little bit stressed before the wedding day, the week before the wedding day, I make them walk around the block once. It may only be a 5-minute walk, but the point is it takes you out of the situation, then puts you back in the situation, and you've had 5 minutes to breathe. Oh, sorry, I've got another tip. Sorry, breathe, breathe, please breathe. If you hold your breath, you're going to pass out. So you have to breathe through the whole motion of the whole thing, and close your eyes and just think of the person that you're going to be staring, those magical eyes. When you walk down whatever aisle, whether it's inside or outside, you're going to see them and you're going to sparkle, and they're going to sparkle, and everybody's going to sparkle, which is brilliant.